Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this month's Next Generation Alliance webinar on the topic of collaboration. I'm David Jones, and with me here in the Portland office is Jaime Marone, Jeff Piper, and Amy Atkinson. Our presenter today is Jorge Perez. Jorge is a seasoned missionary evangelist, author of several books. He has planted church throughout Latin America, traveled extensively preaching the gospel since he's been a young man. He's still a young man. His crusades have led thousands to a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and his ministry maintains an ongoing presence across Latin America with citywide festivals in countries such as Ecuador, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Brazil, Haiti, Mexico, others. He and his wife and their 3 children now live in San Diego, which is where his international offices are headquartered. And we're glad to have Jorge with us today. Now, one of the goals of this alliance, for those that are new to these webinars, one of our goals is to multiply our efforts by working together. And an example of this is how last November, 17 of our alliance members collaborated with Andrew Palau in Ethiopia, and these 17 NGAs held over 175 events in 7 of the 8 largest cities in Ethiopia, reaching literally just tens of thousands of people with the good news, recognizing again that by working together they could share the cost of this project as well as just reach far, far more people through collaboration. Jorge Perez has been a real champion for collaboration. He's a good friend, very engaged, involved alliance member. There will be a time at the end of Jorge's presentation to ask questions. You can do that. There is a question box on GoToMeeting on your screen there, so you can just type in your questions for Jorge and send them to us, or if you have a question for any of the NGA staff. So, again, we just want to give a real heartfelt, warm welcome to Jorge. Go for it, Jorge.
Morning. If you hear, I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you just fine.
Great. Well, it is a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to do this, to share this information we have, and I'm going to talk in 2 levels, I would say, or collaboration in 2 levels. One is the way we do things, the way we've learned throughout the years, and that would be bringing people to just be team members of what we're doing in the festival, in one of the components of the festival. And the other way would be if you on the level of partnering an event, being a lead evangelist and a partner in an event. And we base our philosophy of collaborating, and it's based on one principle. I would say one principle, and we call it the 50-50 principle. And the principle says 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And sometimes we go at it, we try to do something on our own, and it's really hard to accomplish it, especially when you're starting up in ministry. And we learned through the years that it's better to bring someone else on board and share the platform, share the expenses, and accomplish more. And I like Ecclesiastes 4:9. You can see it there on presentation. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. Actually, I had another text there. It's gone now. Okay, anyways. So going to the models, I divided this in 5 parts. And you see the big number at the bottom on the right side of the screen. I'll be talking about the festival models. We have two festival models, basically. One is Fiesta Mayor, which means great feast or great party. And the other one is República de Gozo. Translated is Joy Republic or Republic of Joy. It depends how in what country we are. The differences mostly are the target audiences, the way we have to arrange the format for the audiences. Fiesta Mayor is a little smaller than República de Gozo, and in Fiesta Mayor we've reached several towns in one event. We go to places where there's one small town and a lot of villages and rural areas, and so it's a way to reach the small towns, forgotten in a way, because evangelism through history, big ministries usually don't go to small towns. In the past, I know we're doing that now, and I'm just hearing the report of 157 cities in Africa. I mean, that's incredible. But we've seen that big ministries tend to go to capital cities, and we usually tend to forget the villages. So Fiesta Mayor does that, and it is stronger on humanitarian work, which is different than in a big city. Rural areas is different. For example, we did one in South Mexico. We went to a town where there were 600 children, a village, next to the town where we were having the event. There were 600 children and only one teacher and one classroom and no shoes. So we had to find a way to bring shoes for them. So that was a main problem, and it was a challenge, and we did accomplish that by God's grace. But in bigger cities, that's not the problem. People have shoes. So the target audience is different, even in the social work, the humanitarian side of it. The education level in small towns and villages is lower than in big cities. So we have to craft the message in a different way. That's one of the things that in Fiesta Mayor we do, is we lower standards when it comes to speaking and the way we communicate to people. Most of the people that come to those events are just workers, sometimes farmers, and that type of audience and demographics. So that's basically why we do Fiesta Mayor that way. República de Gozo, which is Joy Republic, we try to reach bigger cities. We still try to stay away from capital cities, or we have done, like we did Tijuana, which is a big city in Mexico. It's got over 3 million people. That's a big city. It's not a capital city, but it's a big city. But we'd rather stay on cities between 65, 70,000 people to 200,000 people. That type of city, that's where we work a lot better, and we get more return for the investment. That's one of the things that is happening right now with Costa Rica. We were initially planning to do this in San Jose, the capital, and then we were uncomfortable with it. Once we switched to Turrialba, which is the second city, the whole thing changed. And we get more response from pastors. And one of the things is that in capital cities, people have too many events going on, and churches have too many things going on. So it's kind of harder for us with the capital that we have in hand. It's harder for us to mobilize. And in a smaller city, people have less things happening. And you go to a stadium, they don't have that many famous personalities coming to the stadium, secular wise. So we get more attention, and pastors get around the project better than in capital cities. Now, in República de Gozo, that's the reach, that's the target audience. Usually education is higher than than in smaller cities and villages. So we can go at it with more we can bring in some urban taste. We can bring in some type of ministries that are more accepted in bigger cities. For example, reggae singers, and things like that, they're pretty welcome in second cities. And sometimes in a smaller city, we do have a problem bringing some type of more modern type of concerts and things like that. The School of Evangelism is the I say the backbone of everything we do. We train the team, and on training the team, we prepare them for pre-evangelism, which is the evangelism that goes before the festival and around the festival and in the festival. And then we do the follow-up training. We call it integration, which is how do we integrate the new people that came to Christ to the churches. We have been able to raise the percentage of retention doing it this way, and that's because we are investing a lot in the training and getting people ready in the School of Evangelism. I'll probably talk a little bit more about that, but basically, School of Evangelism, we train people in manual and besides evangelism, on the follow-up in a way that at the meetings, we divide the city in zones. They have flags with different colors. When we call people to Christ, once they come to the front, we pray with them. They accept Christ. Then right there we do the integration, which is we divide them. If you live in this side of the city, go to the blue flag. If you live on the south side from street 20 to street 25, go to the yellow flag. And we divide them like that. And the teams that we already trained in the School of Evangelism, those are people that live in their areas. So they will be visiting them. Then a 12-week program takes off after the festival. Right at the end of the festival, they start a discipleship training that goes on for 12 weeks in the houses of all the people that came to Christ. And during that process, they do a few things. They identify special needs. They connect them with associations, churches, or organizations that can help them in those needs. It's not just come to church on Sunday. It's a lot more than that. And once we do that, they do that by the second, third week, then they do arrange transportation to bring them to church. And we do all this work for the pastors. In the old days, when we did the crusade models, we would get the cards, the decision cards, and then make a list and give it to the pastors. And sometimes they were not prepared to follow up. They were not ready. They didn't know how to do it. And we would lose a lot of the harvest that way. Well, with this system, that's taken care of because a pastor doesn't have to worry much. He just allows the youth to come to the School of Evangelism. We train them with girls. They go off and they do the work for them. They'll show up in church on Sunday, and then the pastor will take it from there. But that's how we do, and that's basically what a School of Evangelism is all about. The other thing is the social work in non-capital cities is different. The needs are not the same, like I said before. It's more like a social help than actually humanitarian. And that's another thing that is different. The other side of the event, which is big for us, is arts and culture celebrations. The same way in the Palau festivals, you know, the stream exports are really important. For us, it hasn't been that way. Although we are integrating sports now in Costa Rica, it is the first time for us. For us, art and cultural presentations, celebrations is a big part. It's the heart of the model, what happens inside the stadium. And we divide that in different hours, and I'll be talking about that on the next slide, and which is number 2. You can switch the page there for me, thank you. And it's the components of the festival. We usually have 10 tents around the stadium, inside the stadium, but around the stadium. And the tents are, every tent has a different theme. and then ministers to a different need. And I come from tents. I used to travel with a tent when I was young as a missionary from town to town holding crusades with a gospel tent. So tent is really close to my heart, and tent is really good because it's attractive to people more than buildings. It's easier for people to get under a tent and to go into a building. But anyways, and these tents are small, not big tents, and we run social work. And it's good to say, and I put it there on the slide, that social work is not an end; it's just an instrument. People that are working on the social work side of the event are evangelists, and in different levels. People that we trained, that they'll be presenting Jesus, presenting the gospel to the people they're helping at the same time. And we do have decision cards in every tent, and people are coming to Christ in every tent. And we do have an integration team beside every tent. So it's not just helping people, giving people things just for the. I heard someone say you give someone a fish and they'll eat it and it's done. But you give them a way to fish, and they can keep. We do some training on that and how to help fathers and to provide for their families. We do workshops and things like that. So on the tents, from 10 a.m. in our model, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we have medical doctors, dentists, counseling for families. We have work assistance, like I said before, employment workshops, micro farming for single mothers and things like that. And then we have that's usually on one side of the stadium, sometimes on the right side, and that's 5 tents on one side. And then the other 5 tents on the other side is the workshops, and that's where we do evangelistic, not informational. It's just not for information. It's for, again, reaching people. But we do it in a way that we can help the families and reach the families at the point of their needs. And the themes are single mothers, battered women. Sometimes we don't mention the name, but we do minister to battered women. In Latin America, it's common to see women that are being mistreated by even their husbands. So we do minister to that. And then we have father seminars, small businesses seminars, leader seminars, pastors seminars, everything going on during the day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the tent. Then the youth tent, besides those tents, again operates from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it has drama, music, arts, mimes, and things like that, workshops, things like that. But it's for reaching the youth. And then children's tent. There's a children's tent, again, the same time. And then there we have ministers doing Muppet shows, sounds, puppets, music, drama, all of it at the same time. And that's what's going on from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then at the main platform, simultaneously at the same time, we started the operations at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. we do a children's festival. Again, the tents keep operating, nothing stops, but the children's, they all go to one place, a big platform, and that's where we do choreographic dances, shows, bigger presentations. So reaching the children's at their level, and many ministries from the nationals, the city or cities around participate on that. Plus the team that comes with us from the U.S. We bring people to minister in each one of those areas. That's why when we publish opportunities to minister, we include their children's ministry, we include their drama presentations, we include their music and all of that. Now, at 4 p.m., we do what we call the culture exchange. This has been evolving with time. It wasn't like that at the beginning, but it's been changing. We keep adapting it to cultures. Different countries are different, and people are different. basically the same in the need that we need Christ, but the way they behave, the way they react, and the way they assimilate the message is different in every culture. So we have to adapt depending on the country where we are in the way we do this. But the basics are that the culture exchange and music exchange, we have cultural groups and presentations on the main platform and different genres of music. We go from salsa to reggae to rock to, I mean, it's a whole melting pot of cultures and people and musics and things like that. And we allow the nationals to come on board on that. And we get a process where they apply. We make sure that we know who they are and what they do, and then we they come to the big platform on that, and then that's where we mix the nationals and the team that is coming from the U.S. and they take they share the time and they share the platform. Now, then after the culture exchange, oh, by the way, we do more than one proclamation message in every festival. It's not the main message or the main evangelist just preaching one message. We usually do this more than one time. And by the way, the big proclamation message is not that big anymore. And I'll explain why. And this is, we adapted this because it's what it calls for and what it works. So at the end of the culture exchange, we do have an evangelist to give a short message, 5-10 minutes, that's it. Sometimes it's the testimony or the testimonial, and sometimes it's a short message. But at the culture exchange level, we invite people to come to Christ, and we do have the integration ready there to take it from there, and it's just like a main message. And then after that is the proclamation time. But now we don't announce the word proclamation or preaching. We don't do that because people are scared of that. So we don't even say that. We said that is, we call it the concert is going to start. People go to the main platform for the mass concentration. That's how we call it. And people come there, and then pre-concert, we insert there the proclamation. See, people are waiting for the concert. So we go there and we preach, and that goes on. Sometimes we bring a well-known artist to do one number, sing one song, and then right into the message. And that proclamation message goes on for 5-10 minutes. The longest is 15 minutes. And then again, the call. They do the call, and after that, we do integration. That's the big integration, which is from 7:45 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And that's where we divide the city. And everybody that's come to Christ during the day and the culture exchange and now the proclamation, we divide them by zones. And right there, the work of follow-up starts really strong. Now, after that, we do the concert, which is 8:30 p.m. We show the people that are doing the concert at 7 p.m. People can see their faces. And probably, like I said, they sing one song or something just to get them hooked up, I say. And but then at 8:30, from 9:30, that's the big concert. And we share that concert, sometimes a couple of talents, sometimes 3. It depends. Depends on the city and depends on the people that we have to do the concert. So that takes care of the whole day. And there is another proclamation at the end of the concert. We end up the concerts early, by the way. We don't keep it that long because we want to do this proclamation in it. So at the end of the concert, before 9:30, because the whole thing ends at 9:30, we do it around 9:15, 9:10. Another evangelist will come on board on the platform and do another proclamation. 5 minutes. Throw in the net, pick it up, and again, we bring those people to the integration. So now the thing is that this is a different message. It's a different approach. Most of the people that stay for the concerts are young people. So this is even in a different language. It's on their language, their generation level. So we usually try to get a young evangelist to do this one. They work better than us that are preaching to baby boomers and the other generations more effective. Now, if we go to the next page, and that's various elements of the festival. I got some pictures here that I can show you. You can see a School of Evangelism. Those are pictures from previous schools of evangelism. We had a schools of evangelism with up to 1,000 people, maybe, I don't know. But we need a team of between 500, 700 people to hold an event like this at this level, at this size. So that's the School of Evangelism. And then if you go to the next slide, that's humanitarian and social work. It shows here social work being done previous to the festival. We start this, especially when we do Fiesta Mayor, which is towns, small towns, villages. We start the humanitarian work a week before the festival. And we go to high-risk areas and neighborhoods, and we start doing that work a week before. But then we do it inside the festival too. And that's it. And then the next slide is the same, humanitarian and social work. You can see there that we've been able to mobilize where the dentists can actually do things there, not only teaching and things like that. I mean, they can actually extract tooth and do things, more complicated things. And that's a blessing every time we can mobilize equipment like that. For Costa Rica, we are bringing a whole team of odontologists. I think that's the right word in English. I hope so. And we're bringing a full bus of them, and then a truck with all the equipment to do these mobile units in the stadium in Costa Rica. So we're praying that works pretty good. We did this one in Venezuela too. Worked pretty good. We've done it in a few places. Now, the next slide is the Children's Fest and the Culture Exchange. Just to give you an idea, you see the photo on the right top, or top right. That's a unit that we place in one side of the stadium where it's just for children. In that festival, instead of the tent, we did that open air like that. You see mimes, you see children's presenting music, dancing, all of that. Clowns, balloons, concerts, all of that happens at the children's for their age and at the Culture Exchange for their age. And then you go to the next page, and that's, again, that's happening in the festival. We got pictures there from Ecuador, Mexico. We have pictures there from, I don't know what else place, but, and that's basically what you see in every little tent in the event. And then you go to the next page, and I included here NGA members collaborating. We had some NGA members travel with us before. Justin Benedict, Georgina, we had a few more. You can see there Paul, and you can see who else is there. Robbie is directing praise on the right side there. You see Justin Benedict with the National working on a tent, just talking to the youth. I think it is a group. The photo at the bottom is the calling in Haiti, and that's where Robbie is ministering to the crowd there, the crowd at the bottom. And what else? The next page, you can see more of that. You can see Georgina ministering to women, and she's good at that. You can see Paul there, and you see the church, the building at the bottom right. That's a seminar. One of the members did that. If you go to the next slide, you see brothers there from the NGA working at the festivals, in the tent, on the platforms, on different places. And let me go to the next one here. Last one is the team, is a photograph from the team. That was in Haiti. That's Georgina in the middle, ministering there, two brothers, ministering to the crowd in a building. Sometimes we'll stay in the city one day. Well, usually we do that. We stay one more day. And on Sunday, because the festival goes through Friday and Saturday only, people go to churches on Sunday. So in Latin America, it doesn't work for us to have festivals on Sundays. It doesn't work at all. So we send team members around the city to different churches, and we scatter around the city. It's a good thing because they can keep the revival and the joy going at the cities, at the churches. So it's a good thing. There is Robbie on the left side again, ministering to people in Haiti. And if we go to the next slide, I'll share a little bit of, time is running, so I have a couple of minutes maybe. Benefits of collaboration. There are financial benefits. I mean, David is better than me to talk about this. And I took his advice in a few things before. And there are a lot of benefits financially. You to yourself go at it and rent a stadium and do the mobilization and do the advertising and rent the equipment yourself. It can be overwhelming and expensive, especially if you're starting up in ministry. That's what I say 50-50. Share it with somebody else. If you can get another lead evangelist on board with you to go 50-50 with you on the main expenses, there you go. Two is better than one. On that level, again, when you bring people on the team level that they come to collaborate, all they have to cover is the airplane tickets, maybe accommodations expenses, maybe a little bit that goes all to the general fund. And when they do that, they get to be there and minister to people. They're exposed to people. They get to minister to more people than they would do if they were on their own. So coming just on a regular level, you get to minister to a lot of people. And the other thing is report to donors. This took me a while to understand for me, because he has the, he looks like we're taking advantage of it, but it's necessary that you present the donors with what you're doing. So when you come collaborating one event, hey, you have a report. You have video, you have footage. You can go back to your donors and tell them, here, I'm doing this. I went to Costa Rica. This is me preaching. I preached in front of this crowd, and I did that. So you have something to report. And when you report, you can get people to donate more, and you can go again at it. You can go bigger. So those are benefits in just a few words. And I'm sure everybody knows this already. It's just me repeating it again. And what and what not to expect. That's really important, because I have people come to the festival. They pay for the plane ticket and they expect to do the main proclamation message, and then they want to go at it for 50 minutes. And so it's pretty, it's important that you read the manual, read the brochure, and you know that there are limitations to things that you can do. And adapting is the name of the game. We have to adapt to a lot of things. So what to expect on an event? What can you do? What not to do? What to do with the nationals? What not to do with the nationals? It's important that you learn and read the brochure, read the information, ask questions. Our team, the people that travel with me from San Diego, they are used to answering questions. And they're regular people, so they're really ready to help. Now, the difference between lead partners and regular collaborations is that lead partners are you and me. We get together and we agree to share the cost of the event. And a regular partner is one that just comes to having one of the venues. You come to work with the children. You come to work with the youth. You come to work with women's or any other venue, but you're not sharing on the cost of the big event. And so that's that level. It is important to say that we don't pick up an offering on the stadium at all. We don't charge for the entrance to concerts at all. We don't charge for anything. Everything is free for the National. A School of Evangelism is free. Materials, the manuals that we use to train them, they're free. The books are free. Everything is free. We don't pick up a penny from, not even from the pastors in Latin America. We don't ask the pastors to share with the cost of the event in Latin America. Pastors don't put a penny. And the reason we do this is because we are restoring the work of the evangelists. It's been damaged in Latin America. It's been damaged pretty bad. There are evangelists that have come to a city, they pick up 3 offerings, and there's no fruit behind. And so to overcome that and to kind of get the pastors comfortable, we make sure that we tell them up front, hey, you don't have to worry about money. We're not going to ask you for money. You don't have to put any money into this. Just send your people so we can train them at the School of Evangelism so they can bring the new people to your church. And pastors are happy with that. They don't have a problem with that. They lower the resistance when you do that. And that's the price that we have to pay. And at the end, and then we have to raise the money someplace else. And that's how it works. And then at the end, can I preach on the main message? Again, that's what to expect and what not to expect. I see a lot of evangelists, they come and they want to have the center stage, and that's one thing we have to kill, really, to collaborate. That's something that we have to be done, not anymore. You know, when you come and you become a lead evangelist and you have the mentor mentality, and that's your role as a mentor, we want the new people to come on board. We want to expose them to the crowd. We want to support them. We want to allow them to come and participate. I mentioned to Jeff a few days ago that it was a big blessing for me when I went to Portland for the refuel. Wendy Palau was sharing a message about taking less space and allowing others to come in, and the message was crafted for something else, but I can apply that to collaboration. Collaboration is taking less space and allowing others to come on board, and that's the main thing. So yeah, you might not even expect it, and I'll put you on the main platform. I've done it with some. They can tell you that they come to serve at whatever, and sometimes I say, you know what, it's your turn, go on, and go on the platform and you share. So we've done it, and we try to follow the Holy Spirit on this, and sometimes we feel that it's good to bring a young evangelist and put him in front of everybody, but don't expect it. Don't expect it. Come ready to serve in any level. We have to have a servant mentality, a servant spirit, and that's at the root of this. Finally, and that's number 5. You're gonna switch the slide. You can download more information to understand more our model. This is free. You can just follow a link and download this book in PDF format, electronic format. If you want a paper copy, you can, or paperback copy, that's how you call it. You can go to Amazon and order there. It's only $5 or less. So $5, I think they have always a discount or something. So it's always 5 or less. But anyways, and you get a lot for that. Always 4 easy steps. 1, get the brochure. I mean the book, the manual. Read it. See what it's all about. See the opportunities. We have information about transportation. We have information about traveling, visas, all of that. Now, number 2, download a brochure, and the link is different for every event. I think the link we have here is the Costa Rica one. Download a brochure so you know exactly everything. I mean, what we're talking about, and you know the dates. And because I get people asking questions that are already explained in the brochure, so I know that they haven't downloaded it, they're not reading it, and they ask questions that are already there. So it's an idea to do that. Download the brochure, and then 3, fill out the application. We have to screen people that come to us with us before. We don't do that anymore. We know them. We become friends. So I know who they are. So they bypass this stage. But at least the first time you come work with us, fill out the application so we can make phone calls and know exactly who you are. And it's just common sense. We're not going to run your credit or anything like that. And then at the end, number 4, place a deposit. That's commitment. You place a deposit so we know that we can go ahead and arrange the accommodations, hotels, food, everything for you, transportation. No deposit, there's no commitment. So that's bottom line. And that's it. You can find collaborating events and information if you go to H opportunities there. I'm not the only one. I'm just one of the few. There are great ministries doing great things in Africa, in Romania, in Europe, even in Russia. You follow a link, Alliance Events Conferences, and you can see what's coming up there. And there is information from different speakers about collaboration. I think I'm done with that. If you have any questions.
Jorge, thank you. Yeah, Jorge, thank you so much. Dave Jones again. Really appreciate that. And I know we've got a lot of members participating, and you've stimulated their creative juices about what is possible, especially in terms of increasing the scope of their outreach events. A couple people had the question, given the scope of the outreaches, I mean, they obviously require a lot of ministry partners, fellow evangelists, especially just staffing the 10 tents. How do you go about recruiting these partners, and how do you bring the evangelists together? How do you go about finding the people you need to partner with?
In the nation, in Latin America, it's all relationships. When I go to a city to do a festival, I've been there before, sometimes 2-3 times through the years, and they're all friends, churches that know me for a while, and I rely on that. I go back to them and say, you know, they ask me to come, they say we want to do a festival, so I say, you know, I need commitment, I need people to work on this and that and that. So we throw the whole system and how to get the tents, you know, try to get sponsorships for some things, and other things that we have to make contracts and things. I don't know if I'm answering right to the question.
I think the question is more, how did you find the right NGA partners?
Oh, okay, the right NGA partner. Okay, that's something else, because we have more than NGA partners, you know. Like I say, bringing a lot of people to do things. I wish we have more NGA partners, but we bring people that are from other places. But how do we find the right ones? Okay, you know, I always say that after the first event, you know, if one NGA evangelist is good, I mean, what I mean is if it goes well with what you're doing, you know, you can identify with what you're doing, you know, and then you go the second time. That's why I have some that are repeating, they're coming back because it worked pretty well with us. And, you know, those are right for it. So we do ask questions, and we want to know what their expectations are and how willing are they to serve, you know. And
I think a lot of the folks that are part of this webinar are thinking right now, wow, I think I could do something like this, but they want to know what's the typical cost in these smaller markets to do a citywide total saturation evangelism event like this. What's your typical budget that you share with the other NGA members?
Okay, this is if you are in a position not to collaborate on the team level, and you say, I want to do the event, I want to do what Jorge is doing, right? Okay. Yep. Typical expense is small for us. Is probably $60,000-$70,000 event. I didn't get up one morning and I said, I'm going to go and do this festival. It didn't happen like that. I was doing crusades before, and we learned a lot from the crusade days. We started doing bull ring crusades in 1989 was the first one, a bull ring, 5,000 seats The budget was $6,000 back then for us to do a bull ring. So even though at that time it was really difficult for us to raise that money, but it goes with the years, you know. What I'm saying is that it doesn't happen overnight. You have to go to a city and establish relations and know people. You cannot just get up in the morning and say, I'm going to do a festival and tell me what to put in place. Well, the first thing you have to put in place is get on the plane, go to those towns and meet people and preach in places and pay the price that comes with establishing those relationships that you're going to have the big event. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jorge, is it fair to say, too, that you try to get the people you're collaborating with, your fellow evangelists and partners, to cover at least half the cost? So, I mean, isn't that typically your goal? So it's, if you have a campaign that's $60,000, at least $30,000 of it you hope is coming from the people partnering with you. Is that accurate?
Well, yeah. In the past, we would bring more people just on the level of collaborating, you know, the tents and small like that. So it wasn't, I had to raise everything myself. Partnering in the level of bringing someone else as a lead evangelist, yes. We go at it 50-50. I do 30, you do 30. You be on the platform, you be sharing everything, and your organizations can report that you did the event. By the way, coming to collaborate a ticket and just getting there and preaching at a tent with the children, that doesn't grant you to come and read a report and say that you put together that event. You know what I'm saying? And take pictures and say that it's your event is kind of is damaging for yourself. But if you collaborate on the level that, yeah, we go 50-50, yeah, it is your event, and you're responsible for it as well as I am. Sometimes we can break it in three evangelists, and we do 20,000 each. You know, like Haiti right now, I'm organizing 3 festivals in 3 cities in 1 week, 2 days each, and it's a lot less than this, and I'm hoping to get 2 other evangelists so we can divide the 3 cities and share the expenses. We're going to use the same sound equipment, the same platform, and like that. And not the platform, but the rest of the things, and the team, the same team. So we save a lot of money on that. But again, it'll be 2 more people investing in that event. So that's like an investment level we're talking about, David.
All right. Several of the participants are fascinated and intrigued by your follow-up plan and the schools of evangelism and how you divide the city in zones and send people to be counseled by a flag that represents the zone where they live. But tell us a little bit about the success rate. How's that working? How's the
our retention? I'll tell you, Haiti, we have 7,200 people came to Christ in Haiti. 7,200 came to Christ. 4,200 went to discipleship and integrated to the churches.
That's good.
So that gives you more or less the success rate. If you go back to the old crusades, not even 50%. It was a lot less than 50% the retention rate, sometimes 40%. And you get a lot of criticism from pastors because they'll blame it on you. They say the evangelists didn't do it right. See, we don't have new people at the church. Well, the thing is that they didn't do anything either. So what we do is we do it for them. You see, we train people on how to do the 12 weeks follow-up for the pastor. The pastor doesn't have to do it. I mean, I respect the pastors, but this all started, I'll tell you how it started. I went to a pastor's house to eat one day. They invited me for lunch or something, and I gave him the decision cards, and he had the decision cards on top of the refrigerator days after the event. So he never did anything with it. So we don't give the decision cards to the pastors. We don't do that. We train the team. We give it to the team. But not only the decision cards, they meet the people and they get they compromise that they will be visiting them every week for 12 weeks and doing the discipleship in small groups. See? So the retention rate is a lot higher. It works. And I know it works, and you're not gonna hold everybody. It's impossible to keep 100% of the people that come to the front. We know that already. But if you go to the parable of the sower, it goes to sow, right? And it falls in 4 different grounds, and 25% of that is the one that really stayed at the church at the end. I don't know if you follow with me on this, but what I'm saying is that you don't always retain everything. By the way, 25 is really low. I think we can retain a lot more than that, and I'm seeing that with this program. You know, it takes us 4 days or 4 workshops to stay in a city and train the whole team on how to do this. And that's what we're going to do in Costa Rica again next month.
Jorge, you know, the motto of Next Generation Alliance is one message, many expressions. And it seems to me this model, it doesn't really, no matter what means or methodology you use for sharing the good news, there's an opportunity for that expression to be utilized in this model. I know in the Palau festivals we've had some of our partners that are just extremely gifted and use social media and texting and things like that for follow-up and evangelizing. We love partnering with them because if we have decision makers that maybe are nervous about go to a counselor, or going to a flag, you know, or going to a tent to talk to someone, they are comfortable picking up their cell phone, calling someone, or texting someone to engage, having, you know, a conversation about Jesus. Is it fair to say in this model there's room for involvement by just about anyone, no matter what expression they use for sharing the good news?
David, this is a broad model. You know, it's open really to a lot of things. You know. Yeah, we always bring in new things, by the way, weird things. I mean, people that have things that I say, what the heck? I mean, we've never heard of this, but it seems like it works. So let's give them a chance. You see? So there's room. You know, again, texting and using social medias in when we do República de Gozo, which is the second city. Yeah, people are using more technology than in small places. Fiesta Mayor, that doesn't work that much, but República de Gozo, yeah, it is working. We are using social to promote the festival. 2 people are in Facebook, most of them all day. So, so you know, I don't know if that's response to the question, but yeah, there's room for more, David.
So, Jorge, for someone who's participating in this webinar, who's maybe just starting out, I mean, what advice would you have for them? Maybe they got a very small ministry, not a lot of bandwidth, not a lot of resources, but they feel called of God to be an itinerant evangelist. I mean, what advice would you have for them if it might seem overwhelming?
That's a really good question, and that's a key question. You're starting up in the ministry. You don't have money to go and partner. You don't have $30,000 to go and partner for an event. You know, even for people that have been in the ministry for a long time, it is not easy to raise $30,000. So I say, what do I do? I don't even know people that can donate to my ministry, and I don't know how to raise money to do that. Okay, that's why we do have that level where you pay for your plane ticket and your hotel, basically, and you're there. I mean, anybody can raise money for a plane ticket and hotel. It's just like going on vacations. And at that level, start at that level. Start there. Don't try to be the main guy. There's no main guy here, by the way. Our model is so broad that there's no main. People don't know that I am the one putting this together sometimes. They think I'm a coordinator. They don't, you know what I'm saying? But I don't need that respect from them. You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about that. But be just one of the team. Don't try to be the main figure. Because that damages a lot when you try to do things and be the main figure. Don't try to be the main figure. Start where you are. Come and partner. Do your part. Work with the children. Work with the youth. Do a street evangelism. Pray for people. And travel and do that. Start at that level, and then you grow. And then you meet people. And then people get to know you in the city where you are. See, when you come with us, to the city, I'll put you in churches on Sunday. So you get new friends, you're exposed to new people, and you start getting people in your mailing list. You know what I'm saying? So it grows. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? When I started the ministry, I was 19. I thought I was going to reach the whole world in 1 year. It didn't happen. It's taken many years to just do the little that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't happen fast. So start where you are. Start at the level where you are. You know, come on board. Get your plane ticket. Get in the process. Set the application and come with us. You're welcome to come with us. You know.
Jorge, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over now to Jeff. He's got some collaboration opportunities coming up within NJ that he'll share and a couple other remarks, and then Jeff will close our webinar today. But Jorge, on behalf of the Alliance and all those that are participating, a huge thank you. Very, very much appreciated. And for the participants, feel free to email us, email Amy any questions or ideas or thoughts you might have on the topic of collaboration. We're here to serve you. If you have interest in participating in some of the NJ collaborative events, let us know. Jeff and I joke often that we're kind of deal brokers, trying to bring Alliance members together to work together so that they can reach more people more effectively for Jesus. Jeff.
Thank you so much. Thanks again, Jorge. A reminder too, there's lots of resources. If you're just unsure, again, look at that manual, download a brochure, or email us and contact us, and we'll get you some resources for the Schools of Evangelism and follow-up and anything else you might have. We'll work on it. Like Dave said, there's some collaborative opportunities. If you look at the NGA website, when you log on under events and conferences, there's several collaborative opportunities available. Rob Welch is doing some things in Ethiopia and Tanzania. James Gordon is doing something in Dominican Republic. And as Jorge talked about, he's got something coming up quickly in Costa Rica, but there's probably still time to come in as at the team level like he talked about. Also Haiti with Jorge. And as we get more and more opportunities from partner evangelists, we'll put it up there. And if you're interested in having other NJ partners collaborate with you on your event, let us know. We've got just a short, brief form, so basic info. But the bottom line is contact us, and we'll put it out there because, as you all know, collaboration is one of the core values of the Alliance. Also, conferences, just real quickly this summer in July, we're going to do 3 one-day refuel conferences, just one day to gather together, and we'll do that in Chicago, Dallas, and Carlsbad, Southern California. Keep an eye out on the email, also on the website. We'll be communicating those dates and venues and locations very, very soon. Also in October in Nashville, we'll be doing a one-day conference as well. Well, that is it. Let's close in prayer. Lord, thank you so much for this day, and we thank you, Jesus, that in your final hours you prayed that we be one, and you prayed that we would come together in unity to show the world the difference it makes to be brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ. And so we thank you for collaboration. We thank you for Jorge, his time and his team, and just, Lord, you would just bless their team and pour out your favor upon them. And we thank you so much for our partner evangelists that are on the line today and those who couldn't be. Continue to bless them with favor as they go. And we just give this day to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, we love you guys. Contact us anytime and have a great day.